even though
we live
in a city
as vibrant
as Rotterdam,
social problems
still
exist.
Although the internet is a big part of our lives nowadays, the elderly still lack skills to benefit from it.
And even though our economy is thriving, the weakest members of society are still getting left behind, and that is especially the case for people with autism.
Rotterdam belongs to the cities with the highest percentage of ethnic minorities. Many immigrants have not fully integrated themselves.
Women feel isolated and would like to work. Children do not master the Dutch language, which poses a threat to their education.
Others who have lived the highs and lows of a full career have suffered a burnout and were forced to retreat.
But as Enactus, we are dedicated to change this. We're dedicated to make this world a better place, to be entrepreneurs and take action.
Even though it was for one person, what made a big impact on me was Peter. He had a burnout, he was in a depression, and we helped him get back on his feet.
Enactus is about empowering others and ourselves.
I've learned how to turn inspiration into an idea into a business.
Rotterdam. Rotterdam, referred to as the gateway of Europe, is a dynamic city that has been rebuilt from the ground up after the Second World War, reflecting determination, hard work, and ambition. We have a true hands out of our sleeves attitude. We're a team of 4 dedicated international business students. I'm Venamra, I'm 20 years old, and I come from Germany. Enactus, for me, means striving towards building a new civilization, which is not just about money obsession, but about human beings.
I'm Sergio, I'm 20 years old. I'm half Italian, but I was born and raised in Costa Rica. Enactus has shown me the great opportunities that exist for social entrepreneurship on both sides of the Atlantic.
I'm Maaike. I'm 19 years old and I was born and raised in Holland. To me, Enactus is about making people smile again, and smile by smile making the world a little brighter.
My name is Charlie. I'm 19. I was born Dutch but raised internationally. And when I tell people that I'm part of Enactus, that makes me proud because I'm making a difference. We are one of the most international teams here. Together we represent
Enactus EUR. Our team consists of over 40 dedicated international business students from 15 different nationalities at one of the best business schools in the world. At Enactus EUR, we not only embrace diversity, we actually celebrate it and reap the benefits of true international citizenship.
Together, we have worked hard on 6 projects aimed to empower the social groups in Rotterdam. Today, we'll present the 4 most impactful ones.
Our first project is called Learn Dutch to Get in Touch. This is a Dutch language course aimed to get teachers that have suffered from a burnout back into working life.
The second project is Smaak. That's a catering business set up to teach entrepreneurial skills to immigrant mothers in Schiedam.
Third is Project Click, an iPad training course for the elderly, empowering them with the abilities to use today's technology.
And our latest project, OrganoBike, a market delivery service for fresh fruits and vegetables, employing people struggling with autism. We will now start by covering our first project, Learn Dutch to Get in Touch.
There may be moments in life where you just don't see the point of it all, where your current job asks so much of you, putting in hours and hours of work, driving you to a point where you just can't take it anymore.
You're emotionally and physically tired. You're suffering from a burnout.
We performed the needs assessment for our Learn Dutch to Get in Touch project by posting advertisements on the internet.
And we immediately realized that we could help. In combination with the high demand for Dutch language courses on our international campus, which hosts over 80 nationalities, we saw a great opportunity.
Learn Dutch to Get in Touch offers low-cost, high-quality Dutch language courses for beginners. Small classes result in a comfortable teaching environment for the instructors, as well as a personal approach for the students.
After just 2 hours of classes each week, spread over 10 weeks, our students mastered the basics of Dutch needed to support themselves in their daily lives.
Last year, we introduced you to Peter. High pressure at work and suicide of one of his closest friends resulted in a burnout.
Now, 1 year later, and with our help, Peter has completely turned around his life.
Het gaf een stuk structuur, het gaf een uitdaging, het ontwikkelen van het materiaal, het overleg met directe collega's binnen de Learn Dutch to Get in Touch met Anke en Monica. Kijk, ik kan weer aan het werk, ik wil weer aan het werk, ik kan weer aan het werk en wat ik doe zit goed in elkaar. Ik wil weer functioneren, ik kan weer functioneren, misschien nog niet 100%, maar ik ben arbeidsgeschikt. Kom maar op.
This year, our team has helped 33 students better integrate into Dutch society and has helped Peter get back onto his feet. We create change through empowerment.
Putting in 375 Enactus hours, our team generated revenues of about 5,000 euros, which resulted in Enactus EUR making profits of about 300 euros, which was reinvested into our other projects.
This project is currently in the exit phase in the Enactus project management model. To create long-term empowerment, we aim to hand over the project to the teachers.
Because of our help, they are now familiar with the marketing and recruitment processes needed, along with the organizational needs. Furthermore, we are currently in negotiation with the Language Training Center at Erasmus University in order to see what ways we could collaborate to achieve our long-term goals.
And our next project is extraordinary. It truly combines entrepreneurship with social empowerment.
Picture the following situation. You are lost in a foreign country without any clear perspective or motive. Being socially isolated and far from home is a scary feeling.
We performed our needs assessment on the field by talking to employees of a primary school in the struggling neighborhood of Schiedam, whom we were referred to by Enactus Utrecht.
We encounter a group of immigrant mothers in social isolation, not being able to speak the Dutch language.
What they can do, however, is cook.
Their ability to master the art of cooking and reach every single taste bud created a phenomenal opportunity for a catering business.
To help these mothers, we do what we do best, and that is business. By harnessing the power of entrepreneurship, we eliminate the ongoing struggle of these lonely mothers.
The complexity of setting up a business in a safe, legal, and sustainable way exceeded these mothers' capabilities.
We, at Enactus EUR, provide structure for the catering. We cover them with insurance, we set up contracts for the usage of a kitchen, and we help them get customers through the development of a website. We teach them managerial skills, such as keeping cost and inventory.
We also taught them how to calculate possible profits by charging certain prices, basically teaching them the fundamental concepts of running a business.
But most importantly, by teaching them these skills, we help them help themselves.
This project is currently in the pilot phase of the Enactus project management model. The four-man team of SMAC has managed to set up 2 caterings for a total of 65 people. The 7 women received 20 euros in income each.
We have learned a lot from our 2 pilots, such as planning for possible equipment errors, or improving the overall presentation of our catering by using biodegradable materials, such as bamboo plates.
To further optimize our results, we have shifted our marketing strategy completely. We now go for a very personal approach by visiting businesses and telling them our story in person.
We would now like to end with a personal testimonial.
Burada çalıştığından beri en güzel yaptığın şey ne? Mutfakta.
Sen yemek yaptın mı? Börek yapıyoruz, çörek yapıyoruz. Kız kardeşimle de beraber olursa güzel.
SMAC empowers these women with the skills needed to get out of their social isolation.
Our long-term vision for this project is to hand it over to our contact person once she is familiar with all the processes.
We will now cover our 3rd project of today, Project Click.
Today's technology is advancing at an extremely high rate, allowing everyone to be in constant communication with each other.
In this fast-paced world, it seemed as if one group of people is truly left behind: the elderly. From our market research conducted in elderly homes through surveys, we realized that many seniors are unable to communicate with their children and grandchildren.
To empower this NEET group with the skills necessary to navigate today's technologies using, for example, iPads, we created class content inspired by Google Ireland and organized workshops in collaboration with our partner PNL, a senior center in Rotterdam.
Student volunteers teach the elderly the basics of using iPads, such as connecting to the internet and Skyping with their family members.
Elderly often have a short concentration time span. Therefore, we decided to host 4 workshops of 1 hour each. Furthermore, we take a very personal approach with our 2-to-1 student-teacher ratio. The fee for the course is €20.
And here is one of our students, Ms. Verbaum, telling her story.
Ik wil heel graag skypen, want we hebben wat kinderen in het buitenland. In Amerika, in Jordanië, België. En daarvoor wil ik heel graag skypen, maar ik wil ook graag mijn agenda erop hebben. Ik wil het vanaf de basis leren. En dat bevalt me goed hier. Dat doen jullie erg goed. Heel geduldig met zo'n oude vrouw als ik ben.
This project is currently in the pilot phase of the Enactus project management model. We've successfully launched and run our first course of 4 workshops, generating revenues of €260 while making profits of nearly €200, which will be reinvested in iPads in the future.
Our 3-man team put in 440 hours of work throughout the year, empowering 14 seniors with the abilities needed to reach their family members.
Our plan to sustain this project in the long run is pretty straightforward. We aim to hand it over to our contact person at PNL.
The demand for the workshops is extremely high. Therefore, we aim to host our next workshops as early as September 2014. Furthermore, we plan to expand our workshops by covering both smartphones and laptops.
We'll now cover our 4th and last project of today, Organobike.
Imagine you were born with autism. It is hard for other people to understand what you're going through, and a certain lack of social skills will forever taint who you are. Especially when it's time to start sustaining yourself by finding a job, it can seem like nobody wants to hire you.
Now, the idea here is awesome. We aim to empower those unemployed people with autism by engaging them in a business with extremely large scope. We enable people in Rotterdam to order fresh fruits and vegetables from the market on the internet.
These products will then, per bike, for a small fee, be delivered right to your front door by our NEET group, the unemployed people with autism.
The orders are processed and transported in an ecologically friendly way, by cargo bike or even an electric car, for which negotiations are currently in motion.
We gained access to our NEET group through collaboration with Robedrijf.
Robedrijf is an employment agency which helps people from all different backgrounds who have trouble finding jobs. This includes people with physical and mental disabilities, such as autism, so through them we gain access to our NEET group.
This project is currently in the concept phase of our model. We have successfully identified our NEET group, gained access to them, and set up our business model.
From the market research that we've conducted, we found that a very large part of our target market, which is mostly the elderly and young working professionals, is interested in using our service. We also found that they are willing to pay between about €2 and €4 for delivery.
Our web shop is fully functional. After having selected the fruits and vegetables from the home screen and having filled out address details, our customers are presented with an overview and they can pick their delivery times. Then after the payment, the order is sent to our delivery person via email.
We not only empower our NEET group by providing them with jobs, but we also give them the opportunity of social interaction with our customers that they would not otherwise get. Also, we give them responsibility, which raises their self-esteem and confidence.
We at Enactus EUR create change through opportunity. We see great new ways to create new entrepreneurial value while simultaneously empowering those in need.
Today, we have presented the 4 most impactful ones of our 6 projects.
First, Learn Dutch to Get in Touch, empowering both teachers and students.
The second project was SMOG, empowering socially isolated mothers.
Third was Project Click, empowering seniors.
And our latest project, Organobike, empowering unemployed people struggling with autism.
Ladies and gentlemen, together with our 41 volunteers, we have really worked hard on 6 projects together with 9 partners.
By putting in over 3,600 Enactus project hours, we have managed to directly and indirectly impact over 550 people. This essentially means that our team spent about 7 hours on average per person we impacted.
We are financially sustainable, making a net income of about 570 euros. Enactus EUR is about change.
We aim to change circumstances by taking action.
We aim to change abilities by offering education.
We aim to change mindsets by showing determination.
But most importantly, we aim to change lives by helping people help themselves. We are
Enactus EUR.
Thank you, Erasmus University. We will now start the Q&A session. Hetty van Ee.
Thank you for your presentation, very good. I have a question about learning Dutch in Get in Touch. You said that you wanted to hand it over to the teachers, but I was thinking about those teachers, isn't that very difficult? So what's the plan about that?
Is my mic working? There we go. Thanks for your question. The main thing is, like, we have both teachers that suffer from a burnout as well as teachers that don't. And in fact, we have Monica, who was mentioned in the video. She is more of an expert, let's say. She has experience guiding people with a burnout. So you can see there's kind of like a synergy between teachers that don't have a burnout that work with us. For example, Monica also helps us with the class content, for example. But she's also kind of like a supportive factor for the teachers who do suffer from a burnout and want to get back into the working life. So that's how we envision it. Monica is more of a structure that's always there, and we try to get people like Peter, through our project, back into the working life. Does that answer your question?
A little bit depending on only one other teacher. That was my idea.
So one other teacher, like
Monica, only Monica.
Yeah, well, you can see we also have negotiations currently with the Language Training Center. So that means that we're looking into ways how we can collaborate to see if they can maybe take part of our curriculum, or in other ways create groups between the two students group that we have. Because in a way we're competing now, but we want to see if we can collaborate instead. So there are more pillars within the structure that we're currently working on. Yeah, thank you.
First Mr. van der Velde, then Mr. Wijnands.
Thank you very much for your presentation. I have a question in line with the question of Ms. van der Ee. You did a needs assessment and it was done online. What was the outcome of that and how big can it be? What is the need for the Learn Dutch project?
Yeah. So the main thing is, the need is that we have a very high demand, you see, and we want to leverage the demand. That's the most important thing. And right now we simply posted advertisements online for people that are maybe struggling with burnout, and to see if they are interested in perhaps slowly getting back into the work life. So the need is, let's say, equally important as the demand, because it's so high. That's why we can really leverage this through the simple advertisements on the internet, which we can get. So that's basically our need and how we assess it. So. No, it's not that big. So it's really rather difficult, in fact, to get a certain amount of teachers like Peter. And but we think the most effective way is the online advertisements, and also using the personal networks within the teachers, because they obviously have a lot of colleagues at other jobs, and through them we also try to assess it. Thank you.
I have a question on the income statement. And whether the portfolio is economically viable and the company in itself is sustainable. If I would subtract the donations out of the income part, the revenue part, then it will be a loss-giving company.
Yes.
How are you going to cope with that?
Well, it's important to realize that both of our projects that are currently in the pilot phase are making a profit, but it's not as big as, for example, Learn Dutch in Touch, which has been going on for quite a while. The demand for Click is enormous, so we can really, because like we work together with our partner, so the costs are extremely low. So if we host a few more workshops with Click, and we get the catering running really well, I'm sure we can come out positive even without the donations.
Thank you.
Mr. De Kanter.
Thank you. Just one small question on the biking and autism part. So can you elaborate a little bit on the learning curve, if there is a learning curve in the social interaction of those folks with autism going out on the bike to people in the street and deliver? How is that catered for?
Yes.
Can I answer? We are aware of the difficulties with them and social interaction. However, these difficulties are all handled by our partner Robedrijf. They employ them, they also guide them and train them and cover them with benefits, healthcare, all that. We run the pilot. We've actually just run a pilot with our own people, not with the unemployed with autism, just
Your
to
time
see
has
what possibly
My
could go wrong.
Thank you, Erasmus, and everyone please join me in thanking Erasmus.